River has made a guest appearance on the show. Hello, River. Yeah, it's time to talk submission. It is championship weekend. 32 teams had the dream of getting to New Orleans in Super Bowl 59, but alas, we are down to the final four. I guess you could say 3 of the teams we expected to get there, but the 4th is kind of, I guess, the film story of these 2024 NFL playoffs. Welcome to Talking Ish with Dub, Chris, and Mizzle, as we are previewing the AFC and NFC championship games. I'm Dub, that's Chris, and that's Mizzle. Gentlemen, we finally will see who will make the final step to New Orleans, Louisiana on this upcoming Sunday, because as we all know, before you can even think about hoisting Lombardi, you must first get the Hallis and the Hunt Trophy first.
Go Bills. Let's just get that straight. Go Bills.
Off the bat already. Off the gate already.
Go Bills. Well, we know it's black on mine all day.
Hey, is it heartfelt that it's the Bills, or is it wishful thinking? Because
it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. Mix it with a bit with some hatred, with a lot of hatred.
It's got to be because the Bills have to play the Kansas City Chiefs and their
referees,
also known as the referees.
Yes.
Not only is it hatred, it's also.
Thank you.
What else is it? Well, yes. It's always going to be that, because it's always fuck that team in red. There's no denying that. I can't help that.
Well, I will tell you. I'll tell you before we get started. I will say sorry to my boy Scott right now, because he is a big Chiefs fan. But you know what? I am truly, truly, truly rooting for the. I can't believe this is coming out of my mouth. I'm truly rooting for the Bills. Although I'm advertising. I mean, I'm taking resumes for a new team, because my team is done, and I'm sorry, but I cannot back the play of my team anymore.
So let's talk about that real quickly, as unfortunately, Chris Vera is when I sent him the message that the Arlington Cowboys were going to promote offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. Yes, he is the son of legendary head coach Marty.
The Gleam.
And that he will be, in a sense, the new head coach of the Arlington Cowboys. And needless to say, our esteemed friend and colleague, Mr. Chris Vera, was not a very happy man about that at all.
Well, you want to know what my wife said, who's also a Cowboy fan? She said, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Like we're watching Major League. Who the fuck is this guy?
She literally said, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I'm like, "Oh shit."
And I could stay with Major Leagues and just say, these guys suck.
They're shitty. Hi.
Yes.
Hi.
And they're still shitty.
Hi.
Or, of course, my favorite. Aw, shit.
Well, I mean, I watched Jerry walk in, and that would probably be my retort. Aw, shit.
Oh, shit.
Sometimes
look, and anybody out there who's listening, I'll just tell it to you like
bitch.
That's not what I was gonna say, but
I'm sorry.
I'll tell it to you like this.
I think Cleveland's catching up or might have taken the lead.
No, they're down one.
I would be screaming that too. So here's my problem.
Okay.
And anybody who knows me can understand this. It has been a circus in Dallas for the last 30 years. Except, well, I shouldn't say that. When Parcells was there, it wasn't that bad.
No,
100%.
But Jerry couldn't take his toy out of the box and play with it like he normally does. So he got upset, and when Parcells left, he was like, "Yeah, he's gone." Okay, gave you the best chance to win. Now Jerry is back playing with his toy, and there ain't all the people that say Cowboys suck. I will agree with you. 1,000% they do, and I will start taking down my memorabilia probably next weekend.
This just got real.
Duh. I literally just said here my trip to Vegas for football is like I wanted to go to the game with our brother.
I'll go to a game with you. I'll go to a game with you where you're here. Just don't make it over the same weekend that the Cowboys are playing the Raiders, because as I told you, I am not wasting my money to go watch that team, that shitty ass team play. And I'm not talking about your Raiders. I'm talking about my Cowboys. I'm not going to waste my money until they're good again, which by the time they're good again, I might be as old as Jerry is now at 80 years old.
Damn it.
So I got another 30 years.
Damn it.
Well, 27. But still.
Well, I hope they get the coach that you want so you can at least come to the game.
You know what would be really, really just jacked up if the football gods really wanted to be assholes?
What?
You do all that, Chris, and the Cowboys become a contender this season. Because wouldn't it be just ironic that would actually happen?
Well, Dub, for 30 years, 30.
The right coach first.
30 years,
I'm right
we've been saying, all these people have been saying Cowboys are contenders for 30 years. Well, I've never been one of them people until I thought that the team was actually good. And what I will tell you, when they were 13-3, Dak's his rookie year,
right.
I was very surprised because I thought we were going to be a lot worse. But I was very surprised, and I was like, man, we have a chance. And that was the only year in the last, I don't even know how many, where I thought there was a chance.
No,
but right now,
I really thought, truthfully speaking, the 2017 that went 13-3 also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I really thought that team was going to go. I really thought it was going to be a Cowboys Super Bowl.
Is that what they ran across?
Agreed.
Agreed.
No, that was when Eli said, "Hold my beer."
Oh, that was Eli. Okay.
But yeah, because I mean, just
that team was stacked.
Just watching that particular team all season long, it just felt like that Texas Stadium match when they were in Irving as the Irving Cowboys. That was
but keep in mind one thing. Since Dak came into the league, they've been playing at AT&T, and the last time that they truly had a shot at going was Tony Romo was the starting quarterback.
Correct.
And excuse me, and
I want to say that
they had a stacked.
I want to say that was his first full season at quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. His first full season.
So was that when they went against Seattle?
No, it was
Seattle. What?
Seattle was when his first season, and they're playing Seattle in the playoffs, and he fumbled the kick.
Yeah,
I mean the snap for the kick.
Yeah.
But it was 3 years later when they played. They were number one in the division. They had the first round bye.
Yes.
They were number one overall, and they wound up losing to the Giants. And the thing about it is, I'll never forget this play. They say that you don't forget certain elements when you're a player. You also don't forget them when you're a fan. And it was Patrick Creighton that dropped a first down, easy first down, might have gone for a friggin' touchdown play. And it cost them everything. And that would have been to go to the Super Bowl.
That's how I feel about the Roger Craig fumble. They ended up in Lawrence Taylor's hands after Montana got knocked out for 2 years.
But these are the things in the last 30 years that I lived through. And everybody could say, well, you got 2 Super Bowls, actually 3 Super Bowls in the 90s that I got to watch. Okay, well, now it's been 30 years since the Cowboys have, in my eyes, even been relevant.
Wait, so I was 12 the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl? 12.
Yeah.
January of 96 at Old
95. Actually, no, January of 95.
No, it was the 95 season.
94 season. 95.
94, 95.
Yeah. 94 season. The Niners won the Super Bowl in January of 95.
Yeah, you guys won in 95, right? The Niners won in 95 against the Chargers, correct?
The game was playing in January of 95, but it was for the 94 season.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, no, see, no, you're right.
94-95 season, it was the Niners. So it was 96.
It was a 96 against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
O'Donnell said.
Is that when Larry Brown was the MVP?
That's when Neil O'Donnell said, "Here, Larry, take this."
Yeah, he said he basically gave Larry a wink and a head nod, and Larry said, "I got you."
Yeah. Damn, 12 years old, and I remember watching that Super Bowl too. I think I was at my uncle's house watching it. Crazy.
I was still living in Richmond. I was living in California City, California.
Oh, yeah, I was still living in Richmond.
In the middle of the Mojave Desert, watching Super Bowl 30.
Crazy.
Well, I had been married to Tammy for going on 2 years. I was 24.
But I will say, the overview, and I don't know which camera got that, but the overview of the stadium of that Super Bowl, just the overhead shot was one of the most beautiful sights in sports you'll ever see.
Oh, it was. It was that stadium. That stadium was and it was filled to the rim.
To the rim.
And
yes, it was.
It was very interesting because you had a ton of Steeler fans and a ton of Cowboys fans. Which, of course, everybody, come on, we know that they were playing each other. But the reason why I was bringing that up is because of how corporate Super Bowls have gotten. Mm-hmm. But there was a incredible amount of blue and silver and an incredible amount of black and yellow. It was just an incredible scene when they did the overhead.
Well, without question, it's the greatest rivalry in the Super Bowl because it has the most matchups in Super Bowl history with 3. And all 3 of them are memorable in their own rights.
Well, we had Bradshaw, Swan,
Staubach, Swan,
Starworth,
Randy White, Too Tall Jones.
And why can't I think of the tight end that dropped the pass in the end zone? Jackie Slater.
Smith.
Yes, Jackie Slater.
Jackie Smith. That dropped the pass in the end zone, which would have been a go-ahead touchdown for them. Just straight out dropped it.
I mean, he had to feel about as bad as Mark Andrews. Sick.
Well, I mean, Vern Lundquist, who was doing Cowboys radio at the time before Brad Sham got there, Vern had one of the greatest sound bites you would ever want to hear when he said,
he actually said the man's got to be sick right now.
He said, bless his heart, he's got to be the most sickest man in America.
Yep. I remember that.
Facts.
Crazy. And crazy the fact that I'm giving up my Cowboys and everybody who thinks I'm lying, I ain't. I can no longer support a team that can no longer support themselves. It's like one of those, when you have somebody who is an addict and you want them to be sober, so you take them to get help. But to get help, you want to have help, right?
Yeah.
And the Cowboys just don't want the help. Jerry thinks that he knows better than everybody on earth and won't listen to nobody. So, okay. Well, the only way you're going to feel it is what I've always said about corporations. The only way you're going to feel it is when they lose money. The only way Jerry's going to feel it is when fans stop coming around. And I have a feeling that's going to happen next year because so many Cowboy fans were disillusioned. And I was actually looking for pictures of AT&T Stadium for the last game of the season and how empty it was. It really was.
That must mean Elton John's getting ready to sing.
You goddamn right. Play Elton John, damn it. We beat the Cavaliers, baby.
Some Philadelphia
Sorry, Craig. My bad, brother. My bad. My bad, brother. My bad.
I don't know.
Please continue, Chris. Please continue. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good, man. I'm actually looking for. I wanted to see pictures of the stadium for that last game because, like I said, the stadium was relatively empty for that last game of the season. When they played the Washington Redskins, there was actually, I think they said there was more Redskin fans at the game than there were Cowboy fans that day.
Whoa. And that's hard to believe.
You almost never hear of that.
World.
You almost never hear of that.
Never.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Jerry ain't going to feel it until that starts to happen more often. And something tells me next year, well, he'll feel it because the preseason and the regular season ticket sales will show how disillusioned fans are depending on the coach he picks. He thinks he could do whatever he wants. We'll see.
Facts.
Well, I mean, interesting, very interesting stuff. Well, there were some other hires going on.
Well, hold on. What's Mason asking about? Perfect time to ask questions about the Winter War, their tournament.
Oh, go for it, Mason.
We the players need answers. Any info, Chris Vera?
We are A7.
Yeah, we're that will be in
2 weeks.
next weekend. No, next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next
we're
weekend.
This is on a Saturday.
Oh, let's
Yep,
go.
Saturday, Sunday.
Let's go.
What questions do you need answered, Mason?
Yes, sir. Just
Be a little bit more specific, and I will answer as many of the questions as I can.
100%.
Well, in the meantime, the Jacksonville Jaguars have found their guy as Liam Cohen, formerly of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the offensive coordinator.
Concerns it wasn't still on. No, it's Dub. Go ahead and put the flyer up real quick.
As far as I know,
Fire up real quick, Dub. Yeah, we're still a go.
I have not been.
As far as I know, it is still a go, 100%.
I have not been told.
Boss man ain't
anything
said
different.
nothing to us.
So, for those that want to participate, scan the QR code. It will take you to a7flnv.com. Again, $1,000 starting cash prize on the 2nd and the 1st of February. Full A7 streaming commentary, so you'll hear myself and Chris Vera, and maybe we can get the Asgardian to come from Asgard and get him out of the Bifrost to join us. But it is,
I'm pretty sure that he's been frozen in that Bifrost for the last friggin' 2 months.
Seems like it. But it's A7 tackle rolls with throw off, 2 20-minute halves. It is also 45-second play clock for conversions, 45-second play clock for throw off, 5-minute halftime, 2-minute warning each half, A7 tackle rules, $1,000 team registration, 25 players, maximum roster, $1,000 starting cash prize, $250 per team added to the cash prize. Obviously, if you signed up already, then you'll get qualified for free insurance in 2025. A7 uniform or equivalent required. Of course, no sticks, no change, first down every 20-yard line. So join us at Matter Academy. And then once we do get the link of where we're going to be streaming it at, we'll see you also means we'll get the pleasure of being with the heart of random sports. That will be Mr. Miller Carey, which good to hear from him. Talked to him earlier this week. Check in on him. He is doing well. As Motion says, LFG, hashtag goal.
Go for goal. Let's go.
Buccaneers. Former OC, Liam Cohen, decided to come and take the job. Originally went back to Tampa. The fact that Trent Baalke was still the GM, and then Shad Khan, the Jaguars owner, fires Trent Baalke, and now Liam Cohen will now take the job to be the Jaguars head coach.
Was he the one that went to AOL for like 24 hours?
Who, Liam Cohen or Shad Khan?
No, Liam Cohen.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So there was a coach that, and I thought this was really weird. I thought it was him because they said that he had agreed to come back and just needed to sign his contract.
Mm-hmm.
That was
And then, yeah. And then the owner was trying to get a hold of him for like 24 hours. And the whole time he was actually interviewing again for the team. And I thought it was him. And then he wound up taking the job. So I think it is him, but I'm not 100%
Yeah, you're
sure.
absolutely right.
So Liam Cohen will be the 4th youngest active head coach in the NFL. He's only 39. That puts him behind Mike McDonald of the Seahawks, who's 37, Ben Johnson of the Bears, who is 38, and Sean McVay, 38. Of course, Sean McVay is the youngest to win a Super Bowl. So four coaches under the age of 40, 4 of them in the NFL. So,
And my team got
the interesting part. Yeah, the oldest coach, but the interesting part about this is the Cowboys still could wind up with the absolute youngest coach in Kellen Moore, should they choose to go that direction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit because either way, need a new team next year.
So Schottenheimer's not official. Is that what you're saying?
He is not. Everybody keeps saying that he's official. Well, so the question mark is, if you're official, why hasn't it been announced?
Correct.
So that is the actual piece on it, and it is an honest piece that makes 100% sense. If um, you're supposed to be the next head coach, why haven't you been announced? Why haven't they talked about who your staff is going to be?
Correct.
And if he was announced, why couldn't they keep their secondaries coach? Because they were actually talking about him coming on as their defensive coordinator.
Oh,
So it's a very interesting piece when you think about what happened to Al Harris. And my question mark is still the same. You interviewed Kellen Moore. Did Kellen Moore tell you no?
hmm.
Did he get done with his interview and said, nope, I don't want the job?
Is there more than meets the eye to this? Absolutely.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, hence you
So
said
the circus continues.
But one thing we can say that is official is indeed marriage in Henderson, Nevada will be indeed Pete Carroll and Spytech
High tech.
in Henderson. As Spytech, the assistant GM from
Well,
Tampa, will run the
I I
helm.
I know why they hired Pete Carroll. It is to compete and contend against Andy Reid, Hardball, and Peyton. We know the history with Hardball and with Carroll,
Yeah.
so that's going to be fun. That's really going to be fun. But it's to put some stability in that organization and have a proven head coach. There's no way you bring in a first time head coach into this division going up against those other three. You
So
need somebody with some credentials.
does that mean you guys will get Russell Wilson as your new quarterback?
I think that's in the back pocket. I think the thing that I'm skeptical about is Russ is going to be probably a good regular season quarterback, but when it comes to those moments to where it counts, just like you saw in the playoffs this year with him, I don't know if that was play calling or if it was the weapons they had. I mean, Pickens dropped a whole lot of passes
Okay, but let's take a look at this. Let's break this down for a second. Let's say Russ does come. My question mark is still the same. Who's the offensive coordinator?
exactly that. Yes,
Who's the
yes,
defensive coordinator?
yes, yes.
And who's your special teams coach? Because when we talk about these things, this is, it's nice that they announced the head coach
They just
and the head coach
announced
is
that
signed.
breaking news. Breaking news. Cowboys have hired Schottenheimer as their head coach.
I'm done.
Schottenheimer is now the head coach of the Dallas
There.
Cowboys.
Let me just put it this way.
Look, and he can type it. I'm gonna say he has credentials to.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Man.
And there you go. I can't say it out loud, so I'll just say it this way.
Oh boy. That is passion, folks.
That's crazy that just got broken while we're live. Oh man, as we were just sitting.
Cowboys are hiring offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach. Jerry Jones tells, and I like how they put Jerry, Jerry, not two R's, but three.
Chris, you know why he hired this man, because he's going to be a yes man.
Well, of course,
he's going to be a yes man.
Of course, he is.
Dion, like I said, Dion was going to be too much. If you'd have brought in anyone else, Pete Carroll, that's too much because they want their own. So this guy,
as soon as I see it where I could leave a message, it's going to say something very easy and simple, and that is trash.
Man,
Cowboys are doing nothing next year. They are trash. Put it plain and simple.
I'd at least waited for Kellen Moore. Well,
as we were talking about Pete Carroll, who Mizzle just mentioned, turns 74 on September the 15th. But nonetheless,
I gotta see his staff. I gotta see his
true,
staff, and
true.
I hope who he's picking for OC will be his successor, because I don't want when he leaves, we're back to square one. So whoever he has to hit on the OC. I'm hoping to a degree that either they retain Leonard or keep Patrick Graham. But if it's neither one of them, we got to hit on all coaching from like Chris said, from the OC to the DC special teams, everything. Everything has to hit.
Well, we know. Well, here's one thing we do know about Pete Carroll. He's going to put together a damn good staff because he has had good staffs everywhere he's gone.
Yes.
I mean, people want to make fun of Pete Carroll's gum chewing and him being a raw guy, but one thing is factual, and he has done it everywhere he's gone. He has changed the culture instantly.
And players want to play for him, which is going to be important in free agency, especially with all this money that's coming to us. I hope this hire makes Max happy. I hope Spytech is talking to Max right now.
I'm sure.
I hope Pete is talking to Max right now, because one thing everybody got to know, Pete is slightly a defensive-minded coach more than offense. So I kind of hope that he is talking to Max right now, because if we lose Max, that's still setting the franchise back, even with getting Pete. I'm sorry.
We will see, but I mean, we do know this. Listening to Raider Nation Radio out here in Nevada, the phone calls from Raider Nation was one of excitement. They are thrilled. They are happy. They feel like they are back in the island of relevancy with Pete Carroll.
Stability.
If anybody can change the culture and perhaps bring back that Raider mystique that has been lost for a long time, it possibly can be Pete. And not to mention, I mean, there's just a lot of ties because I mean, Pete's a Northern California guy, just like the Raiders were playing in Oakland for all those years. So Pete knows the history, and he embraces that history. We know when it comes to treating their legends right, the Raiders are one of the franchises that does it and does it to the highest standard of excellence.
I'm calling it right now. Monday Night Football, Raiders versus Chargers, either in Inglewood or in Henderson. I can see that happening.
Obviously, Aaron Glenn is going back to East Rutherford, playing for the Jets. I like that. Their head coach. Ben Johnson is already going to bring with him Antoine Randall to his coaching staff in Chicago. That's going to make DJ Moore an even better wide receiver.
Yep.
And Al Golden, Notre Dame's defensive coordinator, took the job to come to Cincinnati and be their coordinator. Bobby Slowick, who was a coaching candidate, the Houston Texans OC, he got fired. So, I mean, Slowick's a good OC. I'm pretty sure he'll be on somebody's staff. Kyron Williams possibly up for an extension with the Rams. That remains to be seen. Concerns about... Tell us how you really feel. Concerns about...
I think he is.
Concerns about Jalen Hurts might be wearing a knee brace on Sunday. How much will that help or hurt the Eagles? That remains to be seen. And Commanders DC says, and I quote, "We will hit Hurts like a running back on design runs." So Joe Wood Jr. not mixing words with his Commanders defense on what they're going to do on Sunday against their longtime division rivals. Which kicks off Championship Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific on Fox. The Philadelphia Eagles and the land of the Commanders. Only the second time, and those two have been rivals for dang near 80 years, but only the second time that the Eagles and the Commanders have played. They played back in the 1991 Walmart game, which the Commanders, then known as the Washington Redskins, won by a final score of 20-6, which just happens to be Buddy Ryan's last game coaching before he and got replaced by Rich Kotite. Both teams, well, good Lord. The passion is flowing out of Mr. Vera right now, folks. He is literally on a live boycott of the Arlington Cowboys while we are doing this show. It is surreal right now. But Eagles and Commanders, they split the season series with the home teams each winning one game.
The second game was the better game.
And the fact that the Commanders turned the ball over, I think 4 or 5 times and found a way to come back.
Something like that.
Which is insane. Because normally back
Definitely.
in our days of watching football, if you turn the ball over 5 times, you're not winning anything. So there you go. First matchup, won 26-18. Second matchup, they got him back with a 36-30. Obviously, the story has been Jaden Daniels in this postseason and stuff that he has done. Forcing 5 turnovers against the Lions. Really, it's going to come down to which star is the star. Is it going to be Saquon Barkley? Is it going to be Jaden Daniels? I think that's the ultimate chess match. My goodness. Which 6 players would you want those to be, Chris?
No.
I'm sorry?
Which 6 players would you want them to be?
Doesn't matter. They're going to let me down anyway.
But it's your but you get to choose your choice of which 6 you want them to carry you.
Oh, shoot. Well, okay. No wide receivers will probably drop me.
Not even Sedarius?
Nah, I respect him.
Okay.
I won't put his name out there like that. I respect him.
All right.
There
All
we
right.
go.
All right. Okay.
Sedarius is
There's a few players that I respect. It's not their fault.
Okay.
So, all I can say is since I keep getting told that I can't post it, I'll do it this way.
Interesting.
Oh, it still won't let me do it.
Well, speaking of some A7 news, tomorrow, the Vegas Force is having tryouts at 11 a.m. at 4141 Meadows Lane in Las Vegas. So, just want to put that out there, doing some more A7 stuff. Again, the Vegas Force having tryouts on January the 25th at 11 a.m. at 4141 Meadows Lane. Oh, boy. I really would be an a-hole right now, but I'm not going to.
No, go ahead. Please, by all means.
What if he wants to?
What if he wants to?
Yes.
Then he can. I don't want it on the left side or the right side. I want it right in the middle.
Oh, oh boy.
And even then, I'm gonna be like the 2 dudes in the the 2 dudes that started in the outfield with major leagues. That's gonna be me all season long.
Oh man, this is going to be an interesting off season next season, and we ain't even finished with the season yet.
No, we are still in the 2024 season. So, all right. So, guys, how do you see this third matchup between the Eagles and Commanders as they both battle for the George S. Hallis Trophy? Again, a rematch of the previous 2 meetings, which the home team has held serve in this game. Just how do you see this matchup?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go for it. Yes, sir.
Okay. My concern was that Hurts wasn't going to be healthy, but he is off the injury report. and so he is healthy. I think that with him being healthy and with them having what I would consider the better offensive line and the better running back, I think that as long as the defense could stand up and let's be real. I mean, um, the biggest piece that hurt them in the last game was the fact that Hurts was out
Mm-hmm.
when they lost to the Washington Redskins. Oh, excuse me, Commanders. Um, I think that the situation lends itself to be one of those where they know what's on the line. They have the better offensive line. They have the better defensive line. My question mark, my question mark to this is everybody healthy on the Philly side? We know that everybody's healthy on the Eagles side. Sorry, on the Commander side. The only player that is hurting on the Eagles right now or is out is their linebacker. So does he make a difference? Yes, but they're playing in Philly. Not that that made a difference to Washington because they went into Detroit and beat a very good Detroit team. But I also think that the problem that Detroit had was that they were hurting so bad all over that defense. And they were basically trying to put patches on that defense, and it didn't work. So, with Philly having most of their players available, ready to play, I like Philly's chances of getting back to the Super Bowl. I think that they are between the two teams. I think they are the better squad. And I've pointed out multiple times what's the one thing you could say about Washington is they have every other game, they have a down game. They played lights out last week. They're due for a letdown. And this is what happens with younger squads. They have those letdowns. So I think that
Yep.
that is something that could honestly happen to them. So I'm leaning towards Philly. I think the 6 points is real. I would say that if I had to say a score, I actually think the score is going to be 21-31, Philly, and I think that they will be in the Super Bowl. As much as that burns my chaps my ass, I might actually become a Philly fan after this year. So we'll see.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, it'd be great to start rooting for Philly and start telling all the Cowboy fans, hey, your team sucks. So I'm good with that.
You go ahead, Dub. You can go. You can go second.
Well, um, I mean, two games separated these two in the standings. 14-3 with the Eagles, 12-5 with the Commanders. But I'm a firm believer of who's got the hot hand right now. Right now, the hot hand is the Commanders. Um, Obviously, the Commanders playing on the road has not bothered them during these playoffs. And they played well the first time they met in Philly. Is just Philly had enough to come back. But again, my concern is the knee of Jalen Hurts, and can he be effective throwing the football? Because we know who Saquon Barkley is, and you just feel like Saquon is going to get his. But but the Eagles the last 2 weeks have really played some sloppy football offensively. Um, I don't know if they could possibly get away with that with a quarterback. And even though he's a rookie, this is a quarterback that is not scared and is afraid of the moment. The
Correct.
moment is not too big for him.
Nope.
Um, it just really feels like nothing phases this man. I definitely do think they got to get some kind of consistency from Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler as a 1-2 punch. I do think McLaurin has to have a big game, catching the ball along with De'Ami Brown. But I do think it'll be close. But I'm riding with momentum. I am taking the Commanders to represent the NFC in Super Bowl 50 in the first game. It may come down to a doink, if you will. It may come down to that, but I'm riding with the momentum that is the Commanders as they fight for old DC.
All valid points from both sides. Um, I agree with you with Jalen Hurts' knee. That's going to be a huge factor. Of course, Saquon is going to get his no matter how many they put in the box and how they try to try to devise a plan to stop him. He's going to get his. But as you said, Jalen Hurts' knee, can he complete those passes that's needed on like they get in third and long or them third down situations? I'm just loving what the Commanders are doing right now. Like you said, Jalen Hurts is not scared of the moment. The fourth quarter, he's just still poised in that pocket. He commands that huddle, and he makes the throws when it's necessary. So for me, I'm just gonna keep this simple. Since they took out the pick that I made to get to the Super Bowl, which was the Detroit Lions, which the matchup where we said was that was going to be a tough choice because of what the Lions were doing and yada yada yada. I'm going to go with the Commanders. I think that Dave Daniels is ready. And I think that defense will make just enough, a couple of stops to get them there. And if it comes to a crunch time situation in the fourth quarter, if Jaden Daniels got the football, I believe that he can drive that team down the field. He's already improving it, regular season and in the playoffs. So I like the Commanders to get to the represent and get to the chip. Passion, folks. Passion. That's what happens when your owner decides he's bigger than the team.
Yeah. Well,
Passion.
Usually when you get that old and you're a piece of shit, most people try to flush you. I'm just saying.
Oh, we're not mincing words for nothing tonight.
Oh, hell no. Why am I going to mince words?
This is why the show is called Talking Ish.
No, here's my early prediction, because we'll do this probably after the draft. We can do a little bit of a draft show, talk about the draft, what's coming up, and
we will be doing a draft watch along like we did last year with the Jaffos and ourselves.
Yeah. And so after the draft is over, we could do a show. I'll give you my I'll give you where I think we're going to be as far as the my prediction for the Cowboys for next year. Let me just say now, 18 games, 4-14. Anyway, go ahead.
Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
So
if we're lucky.
Wow. So now we have the AFC matchup between the Swifties and Josh Allen and the Orchard Park Bills. Fellas, how do we feel about this one?
Rematch of the 2020 AFC title game, which was won by the Chiefs 38-24 before the Chiefs lost Super Bowl 55 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Something I will, I've said before, something that was trending if people believe in omens. You look at the 2018 Patriots, they were the only team to beat the Chiefs twice that season. The Bengals in 2021 were the only team to beat the Chiefs twice that season. And now the Bills will try to be the third team to do that in this Chiefs run and try to beat them twice. I've always said for the Bills, if not now, when? Because the window might be closing for a bit at Orchard Park.
But Dub, you got to ask yourself one question.
What's that?
Are we going to get the best of the Bills? Number one. I think we will. But the more important question, will the referees call the game right down the middle? Well, hell, we already know that the answer to that. So I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs.
I hear you. I understand you. And I don't disagree with that statement.
Do I think the Bills are the better team? Yes. But do I think that the referees are going to come into play in this game? Hell yes.
Now you might maybe do some research on the other laptop. Hold
Well, while Dub is doing that, me instantly,
Just
you
call it
already
how it's it.
there's nothing that we already know who I'm picking. It's going to be the Bills. It's the Bills. I, I, I'm sick. I'm sick of Kermit the Frog and the Chiefs and Andy Reid. It's
I am too, but the fact of the
I
matter
know
is
you
when
I
you
know you hate what's great, but even if they're in my division, I can't do
but Mizzle, I can't put them on the lines of greatness when most of their games are won under controversy. I
100%.
can't.
I
I
agree.
can't do it. And I mean,
I
I've
agree.
got friends, close friends that are Kansas City Chiefs fans that are going to berate me for this. I don't care. I've got to keep it real. And I can't root for a team and I can't call them great when games that matter, games that they have won, have been under a scrutiny for controversy because of what the referees have done throughout the game. I can't do it. I can't.
Especially when the media is now starting to notice it because we've been speculating this for a while. But now when you got Sports Center, and everybody else talking about it's getting out of hand and stuff like that.
But you also had commentators now like Troy Aikman who
Yes.
doesn't mince words. He's
No.
not known to do that, and he
Nope.
calls it as he sees it. And
Yep.
when you saw in the game in the playoff game against Houston, and he was a runner, he was no longer a quarterback because he had passed the
Correct.
line of scrimmage.
Well, not
When
just
you
Correct.
that.
saw them call a unnecessary
Unnecessary
roughness
roughness. Yeah.
against a defensive player that did not hit him in the head. And everybody can say, oh, well, it was what they saw on the field at the time.
No.
Bullshit.
You clearly
That's
see
all I'm
the
going to say.
you clearly see the Texans' helmets touching each other, not even touching Mahomes. But howbeiver,
But wait, hold on before we move on.
Wait, there's more.
New York can come in and clarify that. That's what a lot of things are not understandable.
No,
New
they
York can
can't.
come. Yes, they
No, they
can.
can't.
Oh,
No, they cannot.
they've done it. They can come and
No,
say
they
that that's not the
cannot.
correct hit. Yes.
No, you cannot. You cannot. Here's the thing that's a misconception with everybody is watching and talks about what's going on with the referees when it comes to cut and dry. And what I mean by that is false starts, fumbles, the things that are cut and dry. You are 100% correct. New York could come in and say that is the right or wrong call. What they cannot do is anything that is open to interpretation. In other words, when it comes to offensive pass interference, defensive pass interference, they cannot buzz down and say a damn word about any
Then
of it.
what's the point? Then what's the point of them ever making it that they can come in and change some certain things? That's stupid. If you can come in
Mizzle,
and do something else,
if
it
that
has to
was
be
the
on
truth,
everything.
hold on, and I'll prove it to you with this, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. If that was the truth, why didn't they buzz down against the Kansas City Chiefs and your Raiders when it was obvious that it was a false start, not a snap infringement,
Oh, I
and the fumble
100%.
that was given to them? Why didn't they call down for that?
I have no argument. But yes, they could have.
So my proof when it comes to things that are open to interpretation, when it comes to being a thing of what the referee sees and not cut and dry, they are not going to overrule the referees.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point. I have no rebuttal nor
So
argument to go against that. That's valid. That's
when it comes to those situations, these are the things that happen that I disagree with the NFL 100%, because I think that if you are going to call a game down the middle and you have plays like we're talking about, I think that New York should be able to call down and overrule what a referee has called. I believe that they have visual evidence, and I think that that is the way to do it. Now, here's the incredibly important piece about this. All three of us know the referees, as they ref throughout the season, they are scored.
yes.
When you as a team of referees have low scores, you don't ref playoffs and you
Mhm.
cannot make it to the Super Bowl.
This is true.
So, in my eyes, missed calls and bad calls, like they do in the Kansas City Chief games, I think that they should be dinged even more than what they normally are because they are important plays that should go against these referees for these really bad calls,
Hmm.
especially when it's right in front of you. Now, most people on here don't know I used to ref, and I understand how they look at certain zones and they're responsible for certain zones. So I understand it. But when it is blatant right in front of you, you make the call. Now, here's the thing, I might throw a penalty flag on a holding call on my side of the field, even though the run play was on the other side of the field. And we might get together and talk about it and discuss it. And I might be told, hey, the run play is on the other side of the field. Pick up your flag. I'm good with that. Why are we going to have a holding call in front of me when the run play went to the other side of the field? Did it impact the play? No, no, not at all. It was a cornerback and a wide receiver. I'm just calling it because I saw it. So I'm gonna pick up that penalty flag. I'm gonna stick it in my pocket. Everybody can say what they want.
I
Oh
would
well,
agree to that
you made
though.
the call. You made the call. Well, no, I didn't tell you what I said. What I saw. I went and discussed it with the other referees. They said, "Dude, it was on the other side of the field. Why did you throw you? Because it was holding. Okay, we got it. Just pick up your flag. We'll call it good. Cool.
I,
Let's move on."
So, with that said, Sean Hockley will be the referee for the NFC Championship game.
Sweet.
yeah,
And
I like it.
Cleet Blakeman will be refereeing the AFC Championship game.
I like him too. I think, but the thing about it is, are they? My curiosity question is, are they going with their regular squad?
No, it's All Star Crew.
I hate the All Star Crews. I think that it should be regular squads.
But
But I'm also a proponent for making it having the refs be full time referees and not working other jobs.
so am I. But the thing is, with All Star Crews, you normally get less flags thrown in the game because just going down here, Cleet Blakeman's crew, when it's his regular crew, have the most penalties per game with an average of 15.8, according to NFLpenalties.com. Um, again, Blakeman, as like Hockley, they will not be working with their normal crew, so it is possible that the numbers will be cut down.
Well, and I agree with that, but it's interesting because there's NFL teams, interestingly enough, watch two sets of film. One is going to be their opponent. The other one is actually going to be the referees because they know what when they have certain referees on the field, they know what they like to call. They know exactly what it is they're going to call. So they always keep their heads up and they pay attention to that as a team, which is very interesting to me.
So something that is interesting here. This is the first game for the Chiefs that will have Cleet Blakeman as the referee. Over the past 5 years, when Blakeman has served as the referee in one of their games, and this is from Pro Football Reference, the Chiefs are 3-4 in games officiated by Blakeman. The Bills are 5-2. Again, for those that believe in omens. The last time Blakeman uh, Christmas game in 2023 when the Raiders beat the Chiefs 20-14.
Yes.
Mahomes is 5-6 when Blakeman is the referee for Chiefs games. Again, he was also the referee in the highest scoring game in Monday Night Football history when the 54-51 game between the Chiefs and the Rams took place at the Coliseum. And he was also the referee when the Chiefs lost to the Patriots in the 2018 NFC title game. So Mahomes
Okay, not
has
for nothing, but I'm sure Mahomes has already placed a call to the
Roger
commissioner
Goodell.
and said, "Hey, make sure my boys
The
in the
zebras.
zebra uniforms is making the calls for us." Um, and it's interesting to me because I saw that a buddy of mine got a new jersey, and his new Chiefs jersey, funny enough, was black and white, which I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Mm.
And zebra print, by the way.
Zebra print, you don't say. Well,
Hmm.
obviously, I'm. Well, I think the Orchard Park Bills is one of my AFC. No, it wasn't. It was the Texans. Okay, so with that said,
I think I picked the Bills to get to the Super Bowl in our pick.
my matchup
I
was the
won't lie,
Texans
I'm not
Lions.
even sure. I don't even remember who I picked.
Did I do the Bills or did I do the Ravens?
I don't know, but I know my non-homer pick was the Texans and the Lions.
I
But
think it was the.
My
I think I had the.
non-homer
Go ahead.
my non-homer pick, I think was I know it was Detroit, but I can't remember who I picked for the AFC.
I
I
know
think I might have
100%,
picked
but we
Kansas
all
City.
we all picked the Lions, but I think
Yep.
I think I did pick. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to go back and watch that and go towards the end. But I think I did pick
Yeah, you're gonna have to go towards and let me know who I picked because I can't remember.
Okay, I'll try to review that. But I think I did pick the Bills as my non-homer.
You know
Bills
what?
and
I
Lions.
take that back. I didn't pick the Kansas City Chiefs because I didn't want to pick them going back to the Super
Yep,
Bowl.
I didn't. I know for sure I didn't pick the Chiefs. I can tell you that now.
But in this game, I'm going to tell you what my head says. I'm going to tell you what my heart says. My head says Bills. My heart
Your,
says Chiefs.
your football IQ says Bills, but
Yes.
your smartness and what you've been watching says the Chiefs.
Well, I mean, when you're playing 11 on 11, and the Chiefs also happen to have the 6
Back pocket,
referees,
that back pocket.
it is what it is. Yep.
Well,
I
the
mean,
life of me cannot pick. Like I said, football IQ. The Bills should win this game. They should.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've been watching is the Chiefs. But I'm going to go with the Bills. I just can't, for the simple fact of the matter, me. I don't want to see it. I would rather pour freaking peroxide in my eyes before I watch the Chiefs get back to the goddamn Super Bowl.
Can I paint a picture for you guys real quick?
Of course, brother. This is our show.
And I want you to think of I want you guys to think about this for a second. How good would an Eagles Bills Super Bowl be?
I like it, but how would a Commanders Bills Super Bowl be?
Super Bowl 26 rematch. And hopefully no one on the Bills will pull a Thurman Thomas and leave their helmet on the bench.
I will say it this way, and I'll say it with a without a smile on my face. The only rookie that I liked that took his team to deep into the playoffs his first year was Dan Marino.
Oh, good knowledge.
And I don't want. I like Daniels, and I think he's a good quarterback. But I also think that he has gone through this season not because of Cliff Kingsbury or anybody else. I think the reason he has blown through the season the way he has is because he is a very hard quarterback to read. And even as the season went on, I mean, let me paint a picture for you that makes a lot of sense in what I'm saying. The first time the Cowboys played them in Landover, they beat them. And it was a whole team that beat him. And he looked good, but he didn't look great.
Correct.
The second time they played him, it was a close game, and it took Mariota coming in to beat the Cowboys. He could not move the ball against the Cowboys defense until Mariota came in, and that's when they finally were able to move and get the 14 points to beat them. What does that mean to me? What it means to me is he's not ready. So even if he is able to beat the Eagles on Sunday, which is a division team that he's already seen, it'll be very difficult for him to beat the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs in a team that he has not seen. So I would prefer to watch an Eagles team that has some veterans on that team and a Hurts who has been there before that I feel has a better chance and could play very well against both the whether it's the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills.
I like
So
brother.
is it going to be interesting to see him do that? Here's my thought. If you're a Commanders fan, as of right now, you're like, please, please let him get to the Super Bowl. The fact of the matter is, I really truly feel that once a team gets to the Super Bowl, one of the things that pins them, especially when it comes to a rookie, because Dan Marino himself said it when he went deep into the playoffs. I always thought I would get there again. I would prefer to see this kid grow and be something further down the line than get there now and not be anything further down the line.
I like that.
I mean,
That is damn. That is well said. I love that
in the
assessment.
case of Dan Marino, Marino got back to the AFC title game in '85. It's just a very opportunistic Patriots team. Um, I mean, realistically, the '85 Patriots had no business getting to Super Bowl 20 in the first place
No fucking way. You're right.
because the Raiders should have beat them.
Yep.
And I still stand on this. If Jim Plunkett was playing quarterback and not Mark Wilson, I think the Raiders beat the Patriots, and you get a Dolphins Raiders AFC title game, and you would probably get a more competitive Super Bowl 20 than the 46-10 debacle you got between the Bears and the Patriots. That particular Patriots team ran the ball. Tony Eason couldn't throw the ball worth shit, but the Patriots were very opportunistic and forcing turnovers. To which,
Now,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, now I agree with you 110%, but Marino had said multiple times that he wished he would have grown, the team would have grown more around him to help him. Now, if you remember, they also beat the '85 Bears and was the only team to do so in that season.
Correct.
Now, the one thing that I can say is that if I had to choose in this situation, and it's no knock against Washington at all, I think that Daniels is the truth. I think he's a good player. But again, I also think he's a young, impressionable man that if you get there now, he's going to be looking at it as, well, that was easy. We could do that again next year.
You get high expectations.
No, you need to have the letdowns early in your career to make you fight for what you need going forward. And I can't point to that more, and I'm sorry, than Jamarcus Russell when he got drafted by the Raiders. So you have to be hungry, and in his case, he was way too hungry. And that's a whole different type of hunger. When you come into training camp and you weigh more than half of your offensive line, there's a problem.
That's a problem. Yep. Yeah.
But again, and how do you not know the DVDs were blank? How do you not know that?
When you don't play them, that's how.
No, but the man gave a full-fledged press conference talking about, yeah, I watched the film. It was some good film.
Yeah. Yeah. When you don't watch it, that's what you go up there and say. The man didn't want to play football. He made his goal. He got there, got paid. And he's the reason why you have a rookie scale right now.
There's something to be said about something that I much love that coaches have said in the past, and I truly believe. When you give a young man the type of money these young men are getting, the true personality comes out. If you're lazy, you'll continue to be lazy. If you're a hard worker, you're going to work even harder. That's just the way it is. And that's why Tom Landry said time and time again, and Dub, you said it when we first started as a coach, give a player 3 years. Yep. If he doesn't grasp what needs to be done in 3 years, get rid of him. Yep. Because chances are he's not going to grasp it.
Yep.
And I'll say that about coaches too. You need to give coaches 3 years to turn around a team if they are bad. But here's the thing. If you inherit a good team, your coaching prowess should start to show season one if it's a good team. And by season two, you should be starting to get into that upper echelon. If you are not, and you start losing players, it's time to go as a coach because
Yep.
you're not going to be able to turn that team around. And what I can say about that is look what John Gruden did with the Tony Dungy put together team in Tampa Bay. What happened after that? They lost like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say when people talk about Gruden as being a head coach, go ahead and take him. Take him, please. He is going to do really well with the players around him, but you make him draft for the future, he can't do it.
Do it. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I don't. Another statement I don't disagree with.
So I mean, when we start to look at these these four teams, my thought of this whole thing is simple.
So Jamarcus,
We are watching a team. We're watching a team in the Eagles that are hungry, that are on the younger side. We're watching a team that was actually put together in the Commanders
Mm-hmm.
with 22. Think about that, 22 free agents this past off season, and look what they've done. And that all comes down to me saying two things. Number one, that's why the Cowboys ain't shit because they won't. Jerry won't allow that to happen, or Catboy, one of the two. Number two, Dan Quinn went out and got players that he knew from the Cowboys that were going to help his defense be where they are now. Now, what I can say about that is if I had to play their Washington's defense against the Eagles' offensive line, hands down, it goes to the Eagles. Now, the big point of contention for me is this. Can the Redskins, God, I keep calling them that, can the Commanders,
Okay, we're old school.
yeah, can the Commanders actually stop Saquon Barkley? My answer is no. They can't stop him. But on the other side of
he's
the
gonna
other,
get his regardless.
oh, he's going to get. My estimation is he's going to get 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oof.
Now the other side of it is, can the can the Eagles contain Daniels? Now here's the hard part. If they can, it'll be a long day for Washington. Now we go on the other side, Kansas City, Buffalo. Buffalo has been told all season long they're too small. They're fast, but they're too small. They can't play. Kansas City's offense is second to none. And the thing about it is, can you corral Mahomes like Houston did? They truly corralled him. When you go back and look at the plays that won them the game, it was one-offs. It was broken coverage. So if you can not have those breakdowns in the secondary against a scrambling Mahomes, and if Buffalo can contain him, it could be a long day for Kansas City. Because I think the part that is very hard and difficult to comprehend what could happen is what a scrambling Josh Allen can do to Kansas City.
Yes.
Because they do like to play a lot of man coverage. And when you play a lot of man, what happens? A lot of times your cornerbacks' heads are turned, running with the wide receiver, and that's going to open it up for Josh Allen to take off. So in my eyes, if the Buffalo Bills want to win this game, Josh has got to have over 100 yards rushing.
And they better find out where 95 is lining up at all times.
You know what? No. And the thing about it is, what a lot of people don't understand is he's aggressive. Let him be aggressive and let him rush up the field. Don't give him the corner and let him slide right by the quarterback.
Yep.
And you do that each and every time because he's being aggressive.
Yeah.
Valid points.
I'm still picking the Bills.
My stance has always been this, and it'll stay this way. Anybody but the Chiefs.
I'm picking the Bills.
Anybody but the Chiefs. But again, just as a friendly reminder, NFC Championship game will kick off noon Eastern, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox, and then 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific AFC title game, Bills and the Chiefs on CBS. Of course, the Super Bowl is on Fox this year with Tom Burkhardt and Tim Burkhardt and Tom Brady calling the games. As we will see what happens. Don't forget to join us on Sunday, as it's a special collaboration, as the Jaffos, Talking Ish, Mizzle and Dub Show all combine to do a watch along during both conference championship games. I probably will join him in point because we'll probably be still in service by the time the first game kicks off, which is, of course, is the Eagles and the Commanders on this upcoming Sunday. And then we'll take it throughout the whole title game. A recap of what we saw. And then we will give a quick preview of Super Bowl 59, and then we will have a Talking-ish Super Bowl 59 edition the Saturday before the Super Bowl, hopefully, and that will be on February the 8th, the Saturday before the Super Bowl, as this year the Super Bowl is on February 9th in New Orleans, Louisiana. So again, 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, Commanders, Eagles in Philadelphia on Fox, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, Bills, and the Chiefs. And if you're in Hawaii, the second game would be starting right at 12:30 p.m. After that, you would have the rest of your day after football. As the passion continues to be unleashed about the Argentina and one Chris Vera. Unbelievable. So, Chris gave like a 31-21 score prediction with the Eagles and the Commanders. What's your score for the Bills and the Chiefs, Chris?
Score prediction. Bad boys. I'm actually, so the final was 27-25 Bills against the Ravens.
Correct.
I'm actually going to go with a 30-27 score.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right, well, I will go as far as the Commanders and Eagles go. I will go. I'll go 27-21 Commanders, and then in the AFC title game, I will go 35-31 Bills over the Chiefs.
Oh, you got no defense.
Well, the last time they played in the playoffs, there was no defense. Well, last time they played in Kansas City, there was no defense because Gabe Davis was going up, around, and through the Chiefs' defense to the atonement of 4 touchdowns.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Oh, there's more.
I'll take for the Eagles and Commanders. I'll take a 27-24 Commanders. Bills and Chiefs. I'll give a 30. I'll say a 30, like a 30-20, 24 kind of game. Bills. So yeah. Fans have no, he wasn't ready.
He was not ready. No.
Anyway.
Yeah, Bills and Commanders in the Super Bowl. That's where I'm going.
So damn, you're picking the Commanders too?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Chris is lone wolf
I
Philadelphia
like
Eagles.
I like the high. I like the. I like
Oh, I'm lone wolfing it.
and then I think we all, and I think I'm. No, Dub, did you pick the Bills too? Yeah, I think you're lone wolf in both.
I'm not picking the Swifties.
Yeah, you lone wolf both games.
Actually, I didn't say whether I picked the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
So
okay.
what did you
I
pick?
thought you said you were going
No,
with the
I said my head tells me the Bills, my heart tells
Okay,
me the
you can
Chiefs.
go.
I have not picked either one yet.
Got it. Okay.
And in my pick, because I have to pick one, I will go with the Bills as well.
All
And
right.
it's not because of you guys. It's partially hope and partially the fact that I would like to see uh, Mahomes go home with his tail between his legs after getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
I need some steak with ketchup.
Whatever.
Oh man, don't even get me started.
Oh wow. So I'm looking on NFLShop.com, and the Commanders have the Terry McLaurin 58-yard touchdown going down the sidelines as a shirt on NFLShop.com.
As a shirt.
As a shirt. He is stiff arming the
Hmm.
Lions defender.
Make their money some way the best way they can.
Well, it is now official. The San Francisco 49ers and head coach Kyle Shanahan officially named former Jets head coach as their new defensive coordinator. Slayerth returns to the job he held before the Jets hired him as their head coach. It is now official.
Re-sign Dre Greenlaw. That is priority number one.
That's the important part, right?
She's laughing. I would have too.
Re-sign
Yeah, well, that's part of the important part. The other important part was, I don't wish negative or bad things on anybody, but I'm hoping how can I put this so that way it makes a little bit more sense without saying anybody. I hope death comes calling for Jerry Jones sooner rather than later. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my goodness. Oh baby.
Because it's not until his ass is gone before the Cowboys are going to start winning again.
Oh my.
That's ultimate passion right there.
Dude, look, you guys don't know how done I truly am. Wow, Dub just dropped like a stone.
Right?
You have no idea how real I am with this. I am so real with this because I'm just done with the circus. I'm done trying to stand up for a team that does nothing. I'm done trying to stand up for a team that really will not pull the trigger to get players in that are needed. I'm done with an owner who talks out of his ass 90% of the time, and I'm 100% done. And I'm hoping somebody actually shows Jerry Jones this monologue and says, dude, you have a lot of fans that feel this way, because in reality, he is not going to feel a damn thing until that, like I said, until that stadium that's dubbed Jerry's World is empty of actual Cowboy fans. And you have a lot of delusional Cowboy fans that don't want to hang around and talk about the Cowboys anymore. They're done. Yes, it is his hole of ass, and all the children that came out of that asshole is also on that list, because at one point in time, I truly thought that Stephen Jones had a head on his shoulders, and now I'm starting to realize it's just as dumb as his father's. So as far as I'm concerned, the whole Jones family can go. They were talking about early in the season that the Jones family might be selling the team to somebody. And now I truly, truly hope they do, because I'm 100% done with the Jones family and their BS.
That would be interesting.
No, it wouldn't be interesting. It would be very welcomed, and I know a lot of NFL fans, a lot of Cowboy fans would welcome it, because they're just done with the way this team represents itself. I mean, I can literally tell you, and it's a quote that I actually saved. So instead of telling you, I will take a second and find it and read it real quick, because there is an argument that I made about this, and it says Eagles, 12 players averaging over $10 million of salary, $63 million in dead cap this year, aggressively added free agents via cap manipulation, trying to win the Super Bowl. Guess where they're one game away from going to? This happened in this offseason. Cowboys, 7 players averaging over $10 million in salary, $27 million in dead cap, crying poverty, haven't signed anyone. What does that tell you?
They're not making no moves.
So if you are we can do all the Dak sucks crap. We could do all the everything that you want with the he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL and he's not worth it. We could do all of that. The fact of the matter is, you can redo his deal, redo CeeDee Lamb's deal, sign Michael Parsons for even less on the cap than what he is right now under his rookie deal. You can let go of one player, which I could think of 3 they could let go of right now in the secondary, and they would have $119 million. Everybody hear that? $119 million. I'm tired of the Cowboys crying poor. I'm tired of them not making moves. So that's why I'm tired of this team altogether, and I'm done with them.
Wow. But your owner,
Jerry Jones is
out there. He was going to make moves. He was going to make big splashes, and didn't do nothing.
Make shit. He's not going to make shit except the shit that winds up in his depends.
I can't believe it. You let Tony Pollard just walk.
The Cowboys are, and I'll say this in a way that everybody will understand it. The Cowboys are a 5-12 team away from being irrelevant anymore in the NFL. And once they're irrelevant, that's when Jerry will finally do something. And it's sad that it has to go to that stage before you'll get off your ass and make an actual move.
That's ridiculous.
It has been ridiculous. It has been ridiculous. And the thing about it is, man, I have spent the better part of my life trying to fight for these Cowboys, trying to stand up for them and some of the moves that they have made. And I can't do it anymore. I'm tired of doing it. I'm tired of seeing all the other teams make moves for coaches, for players. And when it comes right down to it, we don't do a damn thing. I'm done. I can't do it. I've done it for 30 years. I can't do it anymore. I'm not going to let myself go through that highs and lows of the team anymore. And I sure the hell don't have any optimism going into the 2025 season. My optimism is 0.
Yeah, well.
So I think I might become a Chicago Bears fan.
Uh-oh.
Because at least it'll be fun to watch with Ben Johnson there.
This is
I would be better yet, I might even become a Jaguars fan. Because at least my quarterback will be sunshine and there'll be sunshine thrown all over the place. So that might be worth it. I'm not going to jump on a good team because everybody called me a bandwagon jumper. I'm going to go for a team that didn't do crap this year and might actually be something next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, hard for you to say anything, huh? Maybe I'll become a Raiders fan.
Wow.
The Raiders? No, that's Cowboy.
Wow.
Yeah. My daughter just pointed out too, my car matches the Cowboys, not the Raiders. So I'm gonna have to change it. I have to paint my car black.
Ew. You can drive my truck.
Wow.
We'll drive your car.
Wow.
You hear these two in the background? I know you can.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, you will be starting from the bottom. I'll tell you that.
Yep. Hey, hon, all the memorabilia in the bar area,
Oh, stop it.
all the Cowboys stuff. Let's take it down and burn it.
I'm gonna.
Actually, you could probably sell.
No, I'll burn it before I sell it.
What the heck?
Wow. Unbelievable.
I'm gonna take it and sell it on eBay.
You take it, but you ain't gonna get much for selling it on eBay. Nobody wants that shit.
I'm gonna go sell it somewhere. You don't want this?
Wow.
I'll take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you see a fan that's been a fan for a long time and is fed up with his organization.
Okay, we're going to Freddy's.
Since '78.
Do you want anything?
That is a long time.
Let's go. We're gonna go spend time with our boyfriend.
Well, heck, I mean, this is
Yeah.
30
Our boyfriend and Freddie. My boyfriend.
How old are you, Miz?
I'm 42.
Dub, you're 42 too, or 42 as well, right?
correct. Yes.
So I've been a fan of the Cowboys longer than you guys have been
Oh my
alive.
god.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's okay, C-Dog.
That's. But you've seen a
You
lot.
two can leave now.
We'll take your call.
You have seen a lot.
Oh yeah, man. I've watched the Cowboys be in 4 Super Bowls. I've watched them win 3. I have met some of my idols. I've met Michael Irving. I've met Emmitt Smith, the center for the Cowboys, and when they won their last Super Bowl, Ray Donaldson is a good
Ooh.
friend of my next door neighbor, and I met him, got pictures with him. I've done a lot of things, different things with the Cowboys, but the thing that I can honestly sit here and tell you guys is that when you become disillusioned as a fan and you disagree with things, you voice your opinion. But it's very difficult for me to voice my opinion over and over and over and year in and year out, and then try to stand up for a team that really what people are saying and talking about. I never thought I would sit here and tell you this. I've never agreed with Stephen A. Smith and his bashing of my Cowboys. And I loved when they had win just to spite him. Now I agree 1,000% with him. We have one of the most disillusioned fan bases I've ever met in my life. They think that every year is the Cowboys' year. And what I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt is you have a lot of those fans now that are also being like, I can't take this anymore. And Schottenheimer's hiring is kind of the last straw. I can't sit here and even fathom a team like the Cowboys hiring this man to think that they're going to be worth a shit come next season. I can't. So, I mean, even if you were to turn around and sign a bunch of free agents, because you'll have the money to do so,
Yeah.
they're still not going to be worth a shit, because you're not changing anything. You're not changing the culture in Dallas for nothing. And the culture needs to be changed. And the problem with it is the culture remains the same. So blame players all you want. The person that you truly should blame is Jerry Jones.
Oh.
He's the one that makes the decisions.
Well, and they've been shit decisions.
It's facts.
100% shit decisions.
Yeah.
Tell me one decision that Jerry has made that has been decent for this team. He hasn't.
No,
He stopped being a wheeler and dealer in free agency about 10 years ago, and now he lets his son do all those moves, and his son won't spend any damn money. They carried over $25 million from last year.
Ooh.
Remember, they couldn't sign Derrick Henry because he would have cost too much. The Ravens got him for $10 million a year. You carried over 25. Tell me how you couldn't friggin' get him.
Grab me a sweater.
Don't make no sense.
Remind me of that.
That'll make life on Dak super easy getting Derrick Henry.
Well, and it goes deeper than that, man. You let Amari Cooper go. You traded him to Cleveland. Do you know why they traded him to Cleveland for a 5th round pick?
No.
You have any idea? Because he refused to take the COVID vaccine. That's the only reason. So you got rid of a player who decided to stay with you for less money than what he was being offered in Washington. You got rid of him because he refused to take a friggin' vaccine? The hell out of here. And guess what Cleveland got back from the Buffalo Bills to sign him or to trade him?
Was it a third, fourth round pick?
Third.
Yeah.
You gave them up for a fifth. They got a third.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to make a big splash in free agency, so we're going to go sign Mingo, trade your fourth round pick for Mingo, who got on the field twice.
And that was the only big move that they made.
If you want to call that a big move, I don't even consider it a big move. I barely consider it a move.
Not newsworthy. I mean, newsworthy, but not the big splash that Jerry was proclaiming that they were going to be doing.
Remember when the season ended last year, his thing was, I'm all in. All into what? All into what? You signed Dak Prescott. You signed Dak Prescott the night before the start of the season. You signed CeeDee Lamb right after minicamp.
Mm-hmm.
What was the big splash, Jerry?
Wasn't one.
What was the all in?
Training camp, regular season.
It's a laughable joke, and that's what the Cowboys have become. Is a laughable joke.
I've been in that boat.
Well,
been in that boat with my
thing about it is, man, you've been in that boat. I've been in it for 30 years, and I'm refused to be in it anymore. And that's my choice.
Oh, 100%. When you're fed up, you're fed up.
Oh, fed up was 2 years ago. And when it comes down to, people blaming players, dude, you can only play with what you got.
Yep.
And the players don't dictate who gets on the team. Mm-hmm. Ownership does, or a GM does. In this case, Jerry is one and the same. So if that's the case, exactly. And if that's the case, and you're not willing to put a team around a player, hell, Jerry came with his hat in his hand, and he said his biggest regret was when Tony Romo went out injured and was no longer part of this team. His biggest regret was not putting a better defense around Tony to win a championship. That was his biggest regret. But yet here you are doing the exact same thing.
Crazy.
So, Dub, what you go to church? You go to church every Sunday. What's a person that continues to ask God for forgiveness but keeps doing the exact same thing?
The sinner.
So, as far as I'm concerned, that's exactly what Jerry Jones is, and the worst case of it. Because he gets all the Cowboy fans excited about shit and lets us down every single year.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sorry, had to get that out.
No.
This is why we do this show.
Exactly.
To unleash on how we feel. Because
unleash the ish.
I have talked many of ish about my football team and my fan base. And I'm gonna say this again. Y'all were all crying about bring Salah back, bring Salah. Okay, he's back now.
Here we go.
And if the defense is still playing like crap, I'm gonna be that one fan. Be like, well, you got what you wanted. You wanted Salah, so you gonna blame him, or is it the players? Which one's it gonna be? Which one?
I mean, you know who's gonna get blamed.
Of course,
it's gonna be Moody.
Moody.
My bad. That wasn't funny, Deb. I'm sorry.
No, again, like I said, if that was Robbie Gold missing on the kicks, they would get on Robbie Gold's ass too.
Yeah, he'll be crucified too. Exactly. But I think with less hatred though. He'll be crucified, but with just less hatred. They'll probably be like, cut his ass, but you know.
But again, don't forget Fox or Fox Deportes, 12 Pacific, which would be 1 Mountain, which would be 2 Central, 3 Eastern, and of course 9 a.m. in the Aloha State.
Oh, Hawaii.
Commanders, Eagles, NFC title game. Then of course 3:30 Pacific, 4:30 Mountain, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. It is the Chiefs and the Bills in Kansas City, Missouri at Arrowhead Stadium. And of course, we will be with you during it all. That's the collaboration of the Job Fellows, Mizzle Dub, Talking Ish, as we do a watch along and talk about what we're seeing in these conference championship games and see who will be the final 2 making their way to New Orleans, Louisiana in Super Bowl 59, which will take place on February the 9th at the Louisiana Superdome on Fox. But with that said, we have our picks. All of us like the or Chris is picking the Eagles. Me and Miz like the Commanders.
Yes.
And all 3 of us are taking the Orchard Park Bills to deny the Chiefs a 3-peat.
Please do.
Again, Sean Hockley will.
And when the Eagles win, I won't say I told you so.
As long as it's not the Chiefs.
Sean Hockley refereeing the Eagles and Commanders, and Cleet Blakeman refereeing the Bills and the Chiefs. Gentlemen, final thoughts before we put a bow on this one.
No, I don't have much to say. I just want the Chiefs to lose.
Where are you?
That's it.
Makes sense.
Straightforward.
Final thoughts. Don't marry an ugly woman. Sucks the life out of you. Don't be a Cowboys fan. Also sucks the life out of you.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Well, I don't know how I can counter that.
No, there's no counter.
So I'm just going to say we thank all of you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate the comments, even though most of it was Chris unleashing passion. But nonetheless, from our ship, we will see you on Sunday as we will do the watch along and talk some ish during the conference championship games. And then we will recap it and preview what the matchup is for Super Bowl 59. For Chris, for Mizzle,
It's the hanging in the laundry basket.
saying thank you for watching with us, and we're just 3 guys talking some ish. Enjoy Championship Sunday, and if your team's in it, may your team win, unless you're the Swifties.
Yeah, not the Swifties, please.
And remember, Eagles fans, if you win, don't eat horse crap like you did last year or a couple years ago. Sorry.
That was horrible. That was disgusting. Very, very, very disgusting.
Stay away from it.
Please do.
Will that be called Phillies Mafia? Just curious.
That's a good question. We thank you guys for chiming in with us tonight.
Stay out of trouble. I'm not going to.
No, never that. It's just amazing that Chris is no longer going to be a Cowboys fan. Come on.
The what?
That you're no longer going to be a Cowboys fan.
Can't, man. I can't do it no more.
Hurts my thought. Good night, everybody.
Hasta la bye-bye.